Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Prem back with another live stream, and today I have another guest with me, Mr. Dan, and he has his son with him, Harry. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. So today's topic is going to be about animation, or some know as Japan animation, but it's neither here or there. We're going to talk about that too. But the first question I got for Harry is, why is animation so popular now around the world?
That is a good question. I might not completely know the answer. I'd say even like from 3 to 5 years ago, it still wasn't that popular. It was pretty popular, but not that popular. But I think over quarantine, there's been like a large spike in people who have started watching anime because for a lot of people, they're just like sitting at home, they had nothing to watch. But anime like kept on coming out, and there was a lot of really good anime coming out. And I think with platforms like Netflix that are common to a lot of people, it's reaching a more mainstream audience in an easier way. And I think a lot recently, like definitely within like the past decade, there's been some serious growth in the amount of people who have been watching anime around the world.
I agree with that. I think when I started watching anime, I think 79, 1979. So that's a while back. But I did go to some movie festivals, and I did see Legend of the Overfiend, Akira, those type of movies in the theater. Fast forward a couple of years in the 90s, I used to go down to Chinatown and get what they call all regional Blu-ray players, where different countries had different numbers. Like I think United States is 5, Canada's 4, but it would break all the codes and we would watch any type of movie we want, and that would usually include anime. Then you start getting stuff like Crunchyroll, Hulu, Funimation, Viz, stuff like that. And we started having animation week in my state where there was 1 week they would show animation in theaters and stuff like that. But what you said made perfect sense, where everybody was in lockdown quarantine and didn't know what it was, gave it a chance and got hooked to it. So it's getting more progressively popular and popular. So it's been around for years, but it's getting more popular. And I definitely agree with your answer there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next one. What are some of the things that makes anime so interesting? Let's stick with Harry.
All right. No, hard question, because within like my like favorite anime, like there's some like different genres in there. I think you can get like a lot of variety out of anime, like any kind of like medium. In terms of things that are like strictly unique to anime, there's the animation, of course. Personally, I don't know. I'm just a sucker for things that are animated. It looks really pretty to me to see like the 2D animation. I love watching an anime with really good animation. Like anime that are older, still hold up within their animation too. Like Cowboy Bebop, I know it's one of my dad's favorites, one of mine too. It still looks like
here we go, really, Cowboy Bebop
today. Yeah. So I do love seeing animated fight scenes, but I also think anime generally do a pretty good job with their characters. I'm not going to say like all anime, because I mean like there's good books, there's bad books, good movies, bad movies. There's some bad anime, but I think in like good anime, there's like a really strong cast of characters that focuses on like more than just the protagonist. I find there to be like generally like pretty decently sized cast with like really good side characters that have like actual like depth to them as well. And I find myself liking a lot more than just the main character in a lot of series. So I really like the way that anime generally structure their casts.
Okay. Through this live stream, I will be posting pictures of different animations that I've seen.
Yeah.
Quite sure you've seen. And if anybody haven't seen these animation, I recommend them. And at the end of the show, I'll definitely get your recommendations so people try them out.
Yeah.
So, Dan, what's your thoughts?
Well, for me, like, you see my Akira poster back there. I associate anime with like science fiction and fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's weird that he watches like an anime without like a volleyball team. You know what I mean? It's just, but he's right. Like a lot of the characters are really good, and the character development and the stories are really good. But I still I go back to movies like Akira and Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Ghost in the Shell. Okay.
Oh yeah, those are the ones I like.
You know? All right. He took it back on that one.
Yeah,
I definitely would say I have a much more like modern taste in anime, mostly just because that's the type of stuff I've grown up with. I mean, I've watched a lot over the years. I have watched some older shows, but not as many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's one that I've watched.
Yeah, so I'll be flashing these through the live stream, and I enjoy that one too a lot. My Hero Academia. So let's get into the next question. I'm gonna start off with Harry.
Yeah.
What popular animated TV series and movies you know?
So I know a lot of anime, I'd say. So if I were to just list off what I think is currently the most popular, as in reaching like a mainstream audience, like a very widespread audience, there's My Hero Academia, Naruto. Yes, everyone still knows Naruto. Dragon Ball Z, a lot of people know. One Piece is still ongoing. It's even longer than Naruto. It's like I think probably the best-selling manga of all time. Attack on Titan. I don't know if I mentioned that. That's huge right now.
Yeah, that's real good. I enjoy that one too.
Attack on Titan is really good and it's huge. And even then, like older series like Cowboy Bebop still hold fame today as like an acclaimed classic, and other like newer but still kind of older shows like I guess Neon Genesis Evangelion. I haven't watched it, but everyone says like
that's a classic.
Yeah, I know it's a classic. I haven't watched it, but I've heard a lot of things about it and other shows like Code Geass. They're a little older but still hold a lot of like relevance today. So those were what I would say is like the most popular anime series. Oh, and the Studio Ghibli movies. Those are really popular in like the West.
Cool. So Mr. Dan, what's your thoughts?
Again, I sort of like a lot of the ones that he described, I've been interested in getting into. It's just a matter of time.
Okay.
And I'm interested in taking him. Eventually, he's gonna watch Akira with me.
I'm surprised I haven't yet.
I'm surprised I haven't made it.
You haven't watched it yet, Harry?
No, not yet. I thought he would show me at one point or another.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. That and Ghost in the Shell, of course. But yeah, those are the ones that I kind of gravitate towards. You know, like I remember too at a time when like I remember watching remember Ninja Scroll way back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember my roommates were like, "What are you watching, a cartoon?" And then they started watching it. That is a hard R-rated anime.
Yeah.
At a time, it scared a certain crowd away, I think, you know, because they were not expecting it to be that hard R-rated.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things when it comes to Japan animation, or we call it animation today, is that they have no problem doing different types of stories and put them in the animation. So I'm gonna go to the next question. I'm gonna stick with Harry here because he knows a lot. Overall, do you think anime is more popular over Disney and Warner Brother Animation?
So the short answer is no. But well, I guess it also depends on what region. Here, the answer is like a hard no. But if you do live in Japan, anime is like more or less like a part of daily life there. Like you see it on TV like all the time. There's even like cities like Akihabara, and one of their like main like selling points is that they have like a ton of merchandise and stores full of like video games and anime. So like in Japan, clearly like anime would be more popular. But in here in like the West and I think worldwide, Disney and Warner Brothers just have a larger appeal. Probably because I'm just guessing at this point, but I mean probably just because there is more people who like speak English overall, and like some people just I guess aren't as familiar with like foreign media like anime. Sometimes the language gap, like even though there is subtitles, sometimes that is a factor that prevents people from latching on to new shows.
Hey, what's going on, Night Watch?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Night, how are you?
Pretty good. I had some technical difficulties.
No problem. Here's my son Harry.
Hello.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Good.
He's
All
schooling
right.
us about anime here.
All right. That's
I have
awesome.
my notebook and stuff, so we're taking notes down here.
Yeah, you know, when I
Nice.
was in South Korea, I actually drove by the TV museum, and they had a big like anime character statue, and I wanted to go in and check it out, but that wasn't really on the itinerary. But it is popular in so many other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think definitely in like like the East Asian countries, it's definitely more popular. But it's only been growing, so it is still becoming a more like popular thing every day, I think.
Okay, so I'm
Awesome.
gonna give you some pushback, and I'm gonna say animation is more popular, and here are the reasons. Disney has over 50 years. Warner Brother also had 50 years. What happened with both companies is that they stopped using their mascots. Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes. They haven't produced anything in over 20 years. That's one thing. And they got away from 2D drawings and going to CGI. They also got a couple of their titles like Star Wars. They shipped a couple of their stuff, even Marvel, and had Madhouse Animation do their stuff.
Yeah.
And this is over 15 years ago. So it is getting popular, along with animation conventions and them just doing stuff like that they're being more current and stuff. Animation been in America since the 70s from Macro Plus series, Vanguard Ace, stuff like that. So always had a cult following, and then it transitioned in the 90s. And like you said, the last 6 or 7 years, it got more popular. And these big studios got the other studios to animate some of their bigger properties, like the X-Men, stuff like that, so forth and so on. Even Star Wars, because I just watched on the Disney Plus. So yeah, they being consistent with the animation, and they put on high quality stuff. So I think that's where they beat Warner Brother and Disney. But if Disney and Warner Brother will pick up their mascot and start producing, putting stuff out again, because they got the popularity, people are familiar with these characters. They know who Mickey Mouse is. They know who Bugs Bunny is. You got to put that stuff out there, because it always baffles me when you take these kids down to Disneyland, but they can't relate to these characters, because there's always the Pixar characters that they can relate to. Cars and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my little pushback for you right there. What's your thoughts on that?
I think still like Disney probably has more like name recognition overall, even without like the mascot. Like even in Japan, I was just mentioning how like anime is like more popular in Japan, but there's like I think it is like more of a recent thing, but there's like a Disney like land in Japan, like a Disney Sea in Japan. I don't even really know what that means. I just know that it exists. So it definitely Disney has like this huge worldwide appeal to it too. And I don't think anime even really has like an over like arching mascot either though. Like I guess it is different because Disney's like a company, anime is like Japanese animation. It's pretty much anything that falls under that. It's huge. So it depends on how you look at it, I think.
Yeah, so I think you're right as far as the popularity go. I think if they do start producing their mascots, because like you said, everybody's familiar with them. It's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, Nike, certain brands around the world. We're just so familiar with that. They start producing them. But I think anime is there. It's like this. They're very close.
Yeah.
You keep producing stuff. So the next one I have for you is anime demographic is adults and kids. Is that true?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. There are anime made like specifically for little kids, anime made meant to be viewed by adults, and a lot that are in this like middle ground that can appeal to like I'd say teens and adults.
Yeah, I just finished watching Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah, I have heard really good things.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Berserk, more adult. I'm not sure if you watched Berserk.
No, I haven't. I heard the manga was really good. I haven't seen the anime adaptation though.
Nightwatch. Are you familiar with Berserk?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it though.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. It's good. I'm gonna co-sign that one, as I say.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I figured you'd be familiar with that one.
Yes, Jujutsu Kaisen. That's one of my like newer favorites. I think it's just like a very prime example of like a good, solid like action kind of adventure anime. It's really good animation. Like, I can't say like the story is something like extremely like I guess unique or like stand out. Like maybe you can predict some things, but it's got good characters, like a storyline you can follow, still interesting enough to like keep you wanting more, really good fight scenes. Everything about it is just like really solid and it keeps me like excited and wanting more. And we're getting more. There's like a prequel movie coming out soon. I don't have no idea when it's gonna like air in American theaters, but I definitely want to watch it as soon as it comes out. Super entertaining show. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about this one?
Demon Slayer? Very similar opinions, honestly. Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, I put like really close to each other right now. Both of them are just like really solid action anime. You can't like find that much, I guess, like bad points about them. They are really
well done. I really think they're well done shows. I watched both of them. I'm caught up with both of them, and yeah, I agree with you.
I haven't heard of Blue Exorcist in a while, but I have watched that. Let's see, I don't. It's been a very long time since I've watched Blue Exorcist. It was a fun show. I think the hype around it really like died down. I don't think it had a proper ending, which is unfortunately the case for a lot of anime shows. Is honestly one of the hardest things about being an anime fan is that a lot of your series will never actually get another season to finish, and you will just have to suffer with that. But yeah, I think it had some complications when its first season ended, but it was a fun show overall.
Okay. Definitely agree with you, young man. So, which genre do you choose from? I'm always I like mech.
Mecha. Oh, that's a very like anime, like I guess not like unique to anime, but like a anime specialized kind of genre.
Yeah, it's like one of the foundations of anime.
Yeah,
so,
that's a.
Yeah, isn't there a huge robot now in Japan, or a huge statue of a robot?
Yeah, it's
oh yeah, that's right.
It's the Gundam. Gundam.
Yeah, Gundam. They wanted to have it done in time for the anniversary, but the pandemic, I think, messed it up. They were a year late or something like that. But apparently, it's massive. Apparently, so it's
it's a household name over there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come down to Night Watch now. What animation did you see or have you watched?
Oh man, I've got to really catch up. I haven't watched stuff in so long. Seriously, it's been years since I've really been into it, man. Just to be honest.
It's okay. Because we're going from old school to new school, so it all counts. What about you, Dan?
Well, I was really pumped for Blade Runner Black Lotus series, and so far I've seen 3 episodes. He's seen the first 2, and I like it. I like where it's going. It's got enough of that Blade Runner world. Well, what did you think about it? Because you're not so familiar with the Blade Runner world. What did you think of it as an animation?
As an animation, so I think it's interesting to me. It has a lot of I guess like familiar producers or like directors and voice actors that I kind of recognize. Not that I'm like an expert on that either, but I think the animation looks kind of like the CGI for like a video game a little bit. Not that I think that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. I'm just kind of like neutral about how it's animated, but it is like 3D in contrast to like a lot of anime, which is 2D. And there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. It's just something that is like notably different because like the majority of anime is in like 2D.
Okay, all right.
Did you get to see any of that yet, Knight?
I haven't watched it yet because I was kind of holding off because I was going to be doing it with a group of friends. But we were talking about it before. I'm really excited about it, and I've heard good things, but I don't know anything about it. I've been fortunate to stay away from any and all spoilers.
Good.
It's not like me with the new Spider-Man movie coming out. I seen one trailer. Anything that comes out, I turn my head or I turn it.
I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I want to be surprised.
You got people trying to spoil it in their thumbnails of their videos and things. And
right.
First of all, and it's all conjecture anyway. Most of it.
Right. So. And you almost can't escape that one because it's just so popular. It's like everywhere, and supposedly there's going to be a new trailer tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Or I should say the final trailer, I guess I should say.
Right.
And I can only imagine how crazy the internet is going to be about it.
Right.
Yeah. I try to be mindful of it. All right. So the next one is this. Harry, a lot of these animation are from manga books, a lot of them. That's one thing that stands out unique about animation, that they get this such a ride from. Manga is considered a comic book over there in Japan.
Yeah,
it's equivalent, but it's almost like a graphic novel, because their books is like this thick instead of ours being like really thin.
Yeah, they're large.
Yeah, I collect a couple of them. I have a couple of them, but with that being said, I think that's one of the things that makes animation unique. A lot of our animation over here from Disney and Warner Brother is just stories and stuff that they come up with in-house majority of the time, where they take a famous folklore story and re-image it and repackage it. So for the most part. So what's your thoughts on that, Harry?
I haven't read that many manga myself, but I think it is very interesting how most anime come from manga. But I think more recently it's also been from light novels, which are more or less just Japanese books. But yeah, they don't have images like manga, but yeah, there's been like a rise in the amount of anime that I think have been adapted from light novels as well. And while it's not as large, there have been like anime originals. I guess that people just don't want to like risk making an anime out of a completely new idea when they don't know if it's going to succeed or fail. But some of the greatest anime of all time, and I mean, I don't want to go back to this every time, but Cowboy Bebop was an anime original too, because I think there is a manga for it now, but it did not originate from a manga. It was an anime original concept. I do think it's interesting how a lot of like anime comes from manga, but I don't think it's like a limiting factor. I would like to say like anime can come from, I guess, anywhere, but a lot of anime just like to take manga as their source material because they know there's already an audience for it, that there's already people who like this manga, who would want to see it turned into an anime, and then they can broaden their audience from turning it into an anime as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like I said, it's largely percentage, so it's mostly, but not all. Because there's like Spriggan, that's a good one. There's a couple that I have seen that was originated, but also a lot of the titles, like you said, get chances due to that studio, the animation studio, where if they do something good or that director do something really well, he said, all right, this is my next project. I want to try this content right here. And it may not be a book. And it works out. But that happens a lot too. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that one. So what recommendation you have for anime TV series and movies? I'll start off with Harry because he's killing it.
I just love talking about this stuff.
I'll be throwing some pictures up here too while you're talking.
All right, do you want me to go over them while you put them up, or?
Yeah, you can go over them.
So Sword Art Online, I have not watched. That is popular, but a little bit divisive, I would say, in the anime community. Just about like some people are like, it's really popular. So some people are like, it's garbage, and then some people are like, you're just saying it's bad because it's popular, and a lot of people are like, no, it's just a really bad show. I haven't watched it. I haven't formulated an opinion, but it's, some people like it, some don't. Soul Eater was pretty good. I did enjoy Soul Eater. Its ending was like, it did not end on a note I was that satisfied with, but
okay, let's go here.
JoJo?
Yeah,
I got my JoJo hat on right now, so I can talk a little bit about this one.
Now I'm familiar with the original one.
Yeah, the original. Oh, that's
the old school one. That's the one with the different animation and stuff. I do watch the new ones. I like the new ones too. So I kind of prefer the older one storyline, but they still is in the same material. What's your thoughts?
That's interesting. I actually have not met that many people who've watched the old JoJo. I mean, I've seen like clips of it. It looks really cool. But I just think the older like animated series for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure didn't like cover all of the parts. Well, that actually makes sense because the manga is not even over, so it definitely did not cover all the parts. The new one has not covered all the parts. It has a new part coming out soon. I'm very excited. But so I mean, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a lot of hype about it. It is a bizarre show. The name is correct, and
it's unique. It's a definitely unique show.
It's definitely unique, and that makes me think that it wouldn't really be the type of show that fits everyone, since it is such like a strange show. But people love it, and I mean, I love it. I think it's really entertaining. Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna co-sign that.
Yeah. Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins is also, I think it started out pretty solid, but this is not like just my opinion. I dropped the show because there was a switch in animation studios around like.
Oh, you noticed that too?
Yeah, the third season. Oh, that was a big deal. There was like so many like internet memes being posted about like one of the fight scenes because it was like supposed to be the biggest fight scene in the manga, and it looked like I don't want to say like bad or anything. No, it looked
like
pretty
crap.
bad. I can't sugarcoat that.
You look like crap.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, and like as much as I want to say like a story is what matters most, like in an anime, animation does matter. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing. It can be average, and I'll still enjoy it. But like if it's like just bad, sometimes it does kind of get just jarring to watch. It feels like it takes away from the experience a little bit.
Well, I think that's the thing about animation, you know, from a solid animation to really good quality animation, it's still good animation. The drawing, the quality, and the way they draw is unique. That what makes it stands out. So when we get a crappy one, which is very rare, it sticks out. It sticks out really.
It stuck out the most, I think, because it was well animated for like the first few seasons, but then all of a sudden it got like noticeably worse. So like everyone's expectations were like, "Yo, what happened?" Like it just hit like all the much harder. Yeah. And like
why did that happen? Why did that happen?
I don't know. A lot of stuff. Whenever there's like a change in like, all I know, anime like making is hectic. Is very like chaotic. The money is crazy. A lot of people are overworked. It's a crazy industry, to be honest. So I don't really know like the details of like the behind the scenes. But I can only imagine that something like drastic might have happened for them to like switch studios. And I know I don't want to like blame the studio that got it either, because I think that they were like low on time, and Japanese animators have it really rough. So I'm sure they did like the best they could, but yeah, the end result just was not great. And you know,
it was trash.
Yeah.
It was trash. I think the other one that had the same issue was Berserk.
That's why I haven't watched it yet, because
when they did that, I was like, Jesus Christ. So they're trying to make up for it, and they're going to start with another series hopefully next year. I want to move on to another one. This one I think is unique.
One Punch Man? Man, One Punch Man is great. It's almost like a parody of like the really strong like anime characters. It's funny. The action is still really entertaining and like good looking. And it gets some flack for its second season, which almost in a similar fashion to Seven Deadly Sins had a studio change, but I don't think it was nearly as bad.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I think people were just overreacting because the first season had really, really good animation. And I mean, I noticed a difference, but I still really thought the second season was good. And I think a lot of people like wrote it off too quickly, but it's worth a watch. It is so unique for like anime or like anything, and it's also hilarious. I love the content.
It is. I think I have to recommend that. Me and Harry are going to recommend it to y'all guys.
Yeah,
to watch it, because
similar to One Punch Man, I think by the same creator, Mob Psycho 100 is so good.
Oh, you watched that too?
Yeah, I love Mob Psycho 100. That show is amazing.
Mob Psycho
100? Mob Psycho 100. And it's getting a third season, so I'm incredibly excited.
Okay. Now this one right here, my cousin, he swears by it, and I haven't watched it. Actually, I haven't watched Bleach. I tried it, the first 3 episodes. I couldn't get into the animation. But this one right here is so far gone. Like, it's so many seasons and stuff that I don't know where to start.
Okay, I have the same problem. I've not watched One Piece. I've actually only heard good things about One Piece from people who have watched it and who have.
Everybody swears by it.
Yeah, everyone does, right? But it's so long. I just can't. It hit its like 1000th episode recently, and I was like,
yeah, it has more than Naruto, so I'm like, okay.
Oh my goodness,
I'm done.
I just can't like bring myself to start it
because it seemed like Naruto was on like the whole time my kids were growing up.
Yeah,
that and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot already. Yeah.
It's on Netflix, the live action version.
Have you watched it?
No, not yet.
I watched half of the first episode. I really wanted to actually watch more to be prepared, but I just didn't have time. I mean, I don't know if this is really a compliment, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone's saying so far. I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. You know,
I mean, it's just a little. It's jarring. Like even the first opening scene, it's in a casino, and there was like a pool of blood on the thing, and I was like, "Oh, blood! Like actual blood! Like I'm not used to that from the anime." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might just be a case where it really just doesn't translate well, and that's all there is to it.
I think anime in general is just hard to translate to live action. I mean, it is like meant to be animated. There's some that I can see more than others, but especially for Cowboy Bebop, so a show with like such like distinct and recognizable and like really detailed animation, I can't. And it's like it's stylized in general, not just like in the animation, but the overall style of Cowboy Bebop is like super distinct. I just imagine it being incredibly hard to translate to a live action. I'm not expecting like something that I enjoy like equally as much as the anime. Like frankly, I think that'd be impossible. But I just hope it's like fun on its own.
I'm gonna have to co-sign what you just said here. I definitely agree with you. When it comes to movies in general, when you're transitioning something from script or book to an hour to 2 hours, and you have a budget and CGI and stuff, to a population that's not familiar with it, you have to make it pleasable for the hardcore fans and people who don't know what's going on to the masses. So you have to be mindful of that. So we're gonna stick with Akira because you know it's a classic. It's a classic to your father. Night Watch. Have you seen Akira?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, so you know the significance of Akira is one of the founding fathers of animation. It was really deep. The topics, the story, the stuff, like everything's in there. But if you haven't seen it yet, Harry, watch it with your father.
Yeah. The music too.
Yeah.
Like so many of these animes, the films, they've got just outstanding soundtracks and really unique music. Akira really it was the total package, you know. Yeah. And
again, I will throw this up there. Definitely enjoy that one. Of course, Naruto, you can't go wrong with Naruto. Kill la Kill, great one. That one was unique. You know, it was really out there, but it was cool. Blue Exorcist, can't go wrong with that. Jujutsu, of course, right now, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Soul Eater, can't go wrong with that. There's a lot that I don't have up here. Sword Art Online, I enjoyed it. It's really good. This one is neck and neck with Jujutsu.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Again, the original one and the new one are good, but if you don't like nothing too crazy for you, don't waste your time.
It's definitely a very distinct show, but its appeal is like so much larger than I ever would have thought. I definitely think it's like an anime that riles up its fan base, like arguably the most. Like that fan base is crazy whenever there's like something new for JoJo being like announced.
Yeah, and you know what? I think when it comes to animation overall, they deal with so many topics, and they're not scared to do things. They don't use the same format. Like sometimes the hero die, sometimes it don't work out at the end. Sometimes it do. So you never know what you're going to get sometimes with these animation series and all of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're like the first Game of Thrones when he wasn't sure who was going to make it or not.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, but this is the last one, and I think this is my favorite. I put this as number 1.
Death Note. Definitely. I forgot to mention it earlier, but yeah, definitely seen as a classic.
If you haven't seen it, Night Watch, Harry, I'm gonna recommend it to you.
I have seen it. It's been a while.
I mean, I know you've seen it. Dan, great storyline. Don't want to ruin it for you. They made it into a live action series on Netflix.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, if you watch that, you're fine. If you can watch the animation in English or subtitles, you're still fine either way. What's your thoughts on that, Harry?
That's good. It's really good. It's really smart. Probably the smartest, or one of like the smartest plot lines I have seen in, I would say in anime, but in anything, to be honest. It is extremely like incredible how well put together the plot is. I would say I think I enjoyed it a little bit less in the second half. Not to say it was like a bad show, but like I'm not spoiling anything, obviously, but like there's a pretty like noticeable shift in the plotline of the first half and the second half. And some people have different opinions on it. I personally like the first half more than the second half. But overall, it's a pretty good show and a lot of people's favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy Elle. Elle was good.
Yeah, Elle is an awesome character. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that is it for our live stream. I definitely appreciate your guys coming through. Again, Harry, you're more than welcome to come back up here with your father.
Thank you.
I think your father's real proud of you with your information. He's just looking at you like, look at my son go.
Yeah, usually I make him watch stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I made him watch Alien, Predator.
Yeah.
You know, you got to start like pushing me a little harder to watch some of your series.
There you go.
Yeah, as you see, he's vastly knowledgeable on a lot of this stuff here. Yeah. You know, I've been watching all of this stuff, like I said, since the 80s. And right there, he knows exactly what he's talking about, and he's very thorough. So check it out. Night Watch, I'm glad you came up here. I know Thanks, that man. This is not your little genre, but still appreciate it.
Yeah, I got catching up to do, man.
I know, man. It's a lot of recommendations here, and we did. Honestly, you can tell, Harry, we didn't even touch the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Like, there's the anime that are like known, but like below that, there's still so many like anime out there. Like, I've watched a lot of anime, and I still know there's like thousands that I haven't watched that I could like enjoy. So yeah, there's so much out there.
Yeah,
nice.
So definitely we're looking forward to see you guys next week. Harry, if I have anything coming up with animation or Japan animation or anything like that, I will definitely get in contact with you through your father, let you know when it's going to happen. To have you up here, and definitely appreciate you guys coming through. I will see you guys next week.
All right.
I'm ready to get on your show, your platform, man. I'm ready to come over there.
All right, man. We'll do it.
Yeah, because last time I ended up getting the time mixed up and had to finish the mural. So
yeah, I remember. Yeah. We did the Last Dragon. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Actually, the next day, me and Lori ended up watching that live stream that you did. So we sat back and watched it. Yeah, nice. It was good. All right, guys. Thanks for coming through. Definitely appreciate it. Harry, again, thank you for coming through and sharing your knowledge on anime. It's good to get the younger generation to get the input on stuff all the time instead of these adults like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
If you don't like Star Blazers, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. God, I remember that.
Remember that? Oh,
yes.
Way back.
That's really old, man.
Oh, yeah.
David and Goliath. All that animation is old.
Yeah. It was still good, though.
Yeah. Great stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys next week.
All righty. All right.
Peace.
See you guys later.
See you, everyone.
Bye.